Welcome to another episode of Definitely Not Therapy. And I can't stress this enough, it's definitely not therapy. It's definitely not therapy. I made that myself, you'd never believe it, would you? This week's episode of Definitely Not Therapy is sponsored by Glowworm Festival in Nottinghamshire. It runs between the 8th and the 10th of August and is situated at Thoresby Park. I'm going to be there with little Harper and we're giving away 4 tickets. That's right, a family of 4, 2 adults, 2 children, full camping weekend on us. More details later in the show. It's definitely not therapy. This week on Definitely Not Therapy, I'm speaking to Stu. Now, Stu is 6 months into a life-changing journey where he's quit his drug addictions, he's been in and out of hospital, and he's even thrown himself into his fitness and lost loads of weight. He's really, really proud of himself. He shares his journey across his social media platforms. I'm really keen to talk to Stu to find out how bad it got and why it got so bad. But what we can take from this is that we all have bad spots in our life. And sometimes with enough support and enough help, you can really come out the other side. And I think Stu is a huge advocate for that. He's really been down, he's been low, he's hit rock bottom. And he's a great advocate to show you can hit rock bottom and you can still make it out the other side. And he's on his journey still. He's got a long way to go. He's only 6 months in, but I'm really keen to talk to Stu and find out how he got to where he is. And hopefully that will give some other people some inspiration, find out how he took himself from being at rock bottom, what steps he took, what help he asked for, what help he got. And hopefully we can hear a little bit of Stu's story, and hopefully it will relate to some of you who are perhaps sitting there now thinking, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do, and I'm at rock bottom. Well, hopefully this will give you some inspiration that, do you know what? We can do it. So let's welcome Stu onto the podcast. It's definitely not therapy.
Dan.
Stu.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hear me now? Yeah, I can hear you.
First of all, thanks for coming on Definitely Not Therapy.
No problem.
I'm excited to get into your story. It seems you've given me some brief details, but it does seem like like you've been on a bit of a journey, so I'm excited to get stuck into that. But yeah, basically, as you know, I'm talking to a different stranger every single week. The purpose really for me is I want to be able to sort of spread awareness for men's mental health in general, but certainly men's mental health for me. It's been quite a big thing. I've shared obviously a lot of my journey over social media, and I just feel like you can feel isolated and alone, even if, you know, I was in a room full of people that loved and cared about me and I still felt alone. I felt like I had no one.
I feel that 100%.
Yeah. So, and 100%. And I hear it a lot. So I just think, do you know what? If someone else can sit there and they can listen to this podcast or watch this podcast and they can think, that's me right now, then actually if they can hear someone's story like yourself that can say, well, I was in that situation and this is what I've done and this is where I'm at now, well, it just might make that person feel less alone. It might just make them feel
exactly like we both agreed over Messenger yesterday. Like if I don't want to sound like a baby Jesus, but if my story can help just one person, then, you know, job done.
Yeah,
nice one.
I say that all the time. To be fair, I get a lot of love and I get a lot of nice comments, but I do get some hate. I think everyone on social media gets some hate. No matter what you do, you can do good, you can do bad. The ones that really get me are the ones that are kind of, they jump on you as soon as you do something that they don't like. They're on you and they're like a little Rottweiler just commenting.
Yeah,
but then as soon as you do something,
on the story the other day.
Yeah, it's just
about using us to like earn money and stuff. Like, I don't want to swear, but that guy can, you know.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's silly. Like, I was
you can go forth and multiply.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've had a lot of people say that. To be fair, it's like, for me, I'm not posting it on my channels that are monetized. I'm posting it on YouTube. I want to spread it as far and wide as I can, but it's not about money. I'm not doing this for my last project. I was doing it because I was desperately grappling at trying to make some money. This time, I just want to help. I just want to help people. I just want to listen to people's stories, get the word out there. But yeah, for me, it's the people that kind of have a go when you're down, but when you're up, they won't say, well done you.
No, exactly.
They'll just kick you when you're down.
People never praise the positive. They only have a go at the negative, and that's one thing that really winds me up. I'm not looking for a pat on the back or anything like that, but, you know, like, let's be empowering and positive towards people when they do positive things. Yeah. You know, not just tell them when they're doing wrong. Exactly. No, I agree with you on that. And I think I would take a million negative comments, hate comments, if it meant one person reached out and said, do you know what, you helped me today. Seeing that video or seeing that post or seeing that you made or whatever helped me today, it's worth doing. Well, I did a name check video 2 weeks ago, and you were actually one of the people that I name checked in that video, amongst others. I did watch it, actually. Yeah. Well, what you do with your social media, it really, really does help me, because I've not gone through what you've gone through, in the sense that, you know, I've not had a marriage that fell apart or anything like that. But, like, it was just a positive message that things can get better. Because, like, I remember watching, sorry to labour the point, but I remember watching everything that happened, and you were putting videos out saying you were never going to be happy again. Yeah. And I was sat there going, you are going to be happy again. And you don't know how quickly you're going to be happy again. And within, you know, a good 6-7 months, you were somewhere near smiling again. And you got your laugh back. And that just brightened my day, to see you come on in such leaps and bounds in such a small time. Now, I knew that was going to happen, but the lows that you fell to were just extreme. And it was like, I know this guy's going to be all right, and I'm going to keep watching him, and I'm going to watch him get his laugh back. He's going to get his laugh back, and then it came back, and I was just blown away. But it was tied. I started using your story on a positive tip for me, to try and inspire myself to think, well, if Dan can do it, I can make changes as well and make my life better. Well, do you know what? Just hearing that, it kind of just makes it all worth it. Obviously, I want to feel happier, and I want to feel like, I don't want to say better, because I don't want to treat it as though it's like there's something wrong with you by saying I want to feel better. But that's how I felt. Like, I want to feel better. I want to feel happy. And I think even with social media, putting yourself out there, you have to put on a bit of a front. You put on a bit of a version of yourself. But my problem is I wear my heart on my sleeve. So do you know what? If I'm having a good day, exactly the same as you. If I'm having a good day, I'll post something positive. If I'm having a bad day, do you know what? I'm probably gonna post that on social media. And there's times that you do have setbacks in any journey. And I remember my probably lowest moment, which I won't go into today, but my lowest moment came after I actually thought I was doing okay. And then one day I just woke up and it hit me, and I was like, I'm done. Don't want to be here anymore. And that was after posting about being positive and being happy, and okay, I'm doing well. So it can hit you at any time. So I think there's some great support networks out there, and I think it's good to kind of bring awareness to them, because I sort of didn't have anyone other than my little girl there when I sort of needed. Well, she's there all the time anyway, but it's hard to explain. Like, she was in my mind, and I knew that she needed me, and I felt like I'd be passing my pain to her, and she didn't deserve that. So yeah, but anyway, here we are. I'm doing better. I'm happy, and I'm glad that I've inspired even one person. So yeah, you inspired me, dude. That's why you were put on that video, and I just find it really bizarre that we're now having this conversation, because that kind of thing never happens. The second you put out this idea, I was like, I've got to speak to this dude. Yeah, because this dude's going to be a positive step. Well, everything happens for a reason, Stu. So maybe it's it does. You put these thoughts out into the world, and here we are having a chat. So okay, so look, we're going to do like a quick icebreaker round, just a few little questions before we get into the sort of deep stuff. So tell me a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? What do you do? That's actually the whole question. My name is Stuart. I am a barber and DJ. I live in a little village called Sorby Bridge in Halifax, West Yorkshire, via South Manchester. And we've been living out here for about 11 years. And we love it here. We're never going back to Manchester. Oh, really? No. What, just didn't like Manchester? Oh, no, I love Manchester. I'm a fiercely proud Mancunian, but I come from a red brick council estate, and when I looked out of my house as a child and looked out of the window, I saw another red brick house. And I'm not putting council estates down or dragging them in through the dirt, but my children now, we don't live in a privately owned house, we live in a privately rented house. But my children go and stand on our decking. I feel so middle class, and that's awful. And they look up at Norland Bank, which is just a beautiful, beautiful set of hills. It's gorgeous, and they can just see views. And I remember my little girl being 3, stood on this decking, and I said to her, "What are you doing?" She went, "I'm just enjoying the view." Like, brilliant, Betty. You already get it. You already appreciate it.
Bless.
And I went for a drive around the estate where I'm from recently, and the camera that I'm using today, I shoved it onto the dashboard of the camera, and I filmed the estate, and I showed the kids where I'm from, and they were like, "Is that really where you're from, Daddy?" I was like, "Yeah." They were like, "God, we've got it lucky living out here, haven't we?" I'm like, "Yes, you do. You really, really do."
It's nice that you've been able to show them that as well. And I think that, you know, in this day and age, children are spoiled. It's not a bad thing. I spoil my little girl, and it is what it is. But I remember growing up, and it was sort of, you were just shoved, me and my brother shoved in a little box room, and you just get on with it. That was it. And it's now, I was an estate agent for 20 years, and the amount of conversations I heard from kids saying, "Well, I'm not sharing a room with him." And it's like, okay, well, the house isn't for us then. And the kids were sort of making the decisions. Whereas when I was younger, it was like, that's where we live in. That's where your room is. That's who you're sharing with. You getting on with it.
I can't even begin to tell you my thoughts on modern day children, if I'm completely honest with you.
We'll leave that for another episode.
Yeah, definitely. We should definitely do that episode.
So, Manchester United fan or Man City fan?
No. I'm not really into football, but I was brought up a true blue Mancunian.
Okay, all right, fair enough. It's always one. It's always passionate, one or the other, isn't it? Usually,
Mancunians are blue.
Yeah.
See those veins? There's blue.
They're blue, yeah.
And it's only red once they're cut open.
Fair enough. Okay, what's your funniest joke? Hit me with your funniest joke.
Right. So this was given to me by a customer years ago called Dan. Strangely enough, and I said to him, "What's your favourite joke ever?" And it's always stuck with me, and it's one that I constantly tell. And it's quite topical because of Clarkson's farm and stuff. It's terrible, absolutely terrible. What did the farmer say when he lost his tractor?
I don't know.
"Where's my tractor?"
So stupid. So stupid.
It still makes me chuckle.
Yeah. It's definitely not therapy. Look, background story. Let's start at the beginning. What was your childhood like? You've mentioned, obviously, you grew up in Manchester and sort of red brick house. So what was your actual childhood like?
Childhood was tough. Born into a council estate. To a mum that worked very hard. Sorry about this, Dad. Me and my dad aren't exactly speaking right now, but
okay, sorry to hear that.
And my dad didn't want to work. My dad's life ambition was to be a lion tamer and never work. That's what he said to his career teacher at school. Apparently, he wanted to be a lion tamer, so he just never wanted to work, and he didn't. Wow. I mean, he works hard now. In his 60s, he got his stuff together and got a job. But life was hard. We were poor. We weren't destitute, but I didn't have nice trainers. I didn't have nice clothes. My mum worked as hard as she could to provide us with what we had. Any nice clothes or trainers I had, they were bought from grandparents. We had food and the basics, but luxuries weren't a thing. Like, I'd see kids walking down the road with bags of sweets and think, "Oh, I'd quite like a bag of sweets." Never had a bag of sweets. Like, we'd walk past the ice cream van every night on the way home from school, and we very rarely got an ice cream, if at all. I don't ever remember a time where my mum and dad stopped and bought us an ice cream. I know this is all sounding quite superficial, but it's just the things that stick in your head.
Yeah.
I've got quite sad memories of childhood, if I'm honest with you, because my parents divorced when I was really young. The year they divorced, we were sent off to Wolverhampton to stay with the family for a few weeks. So my parents could hash things out. And then, God, I'm sorry about this, Mum, but I've got to speak about it. And then my mum met someone else. This guy just never wanted a woman that had children.
Yeah.
And he was not nice to me.
Really? How old were you at this time?
When my parents split, I was probably 7, 8. No, I was 8 because it was the summer of my 8th birthday. I got a Paul Daniels magic set.
I got one of them.
Yeah, brilliant.
Brilliant.
I remember speaking to my dad. This is my shop, by the way, Bartak Chop Shop, and I actually won a Paul Daniels magic set, even just a lid, just to have on the wall, because this is what the inside of my head looks like. So, yeah, I remember speaking to my dad on the day of my birthday and him saying, son, that's also from me as well. You do realise that, don't you? And I was like, yeah, I know that's from you. And then my stepfather got a bit abusive and I ended up living with my dad. Now, at the time, my dad was working. He did actually have a job at this stage, which was brilliant. But he worked out that it was easier for him to quit work because the government would pay him more money to not work. And he's got a child to think of now. And what are you going to do in that situation? Like, you're going to take more money. So the government made it easier for him to not work than they did to work. It was a horrible situation. It wasn't the best upbringing. My dad was a heavy cannabis user. Sorry, Dad, you're not going to like any of this, and that then led to, me using cannabis for the first time at about 13. Oh. And then I smoked it every day of my life since, up until about 6 months ago.
Wow. So was it just a clean stop, or did you get help to stop?
The thing is about me, I decided one day that I didn't want to smoke cigarettes anymore, right? So I just stopped. And the only time I'd smoke them is when I was drinking. And then there'd be a packet of cigarettes half smoked in the cupboard until the next time I went out drinking. So if I say I'm going to stop doing something, it's done.
Yeah. So you just had that mindset.
Was harder.
Okay, right.
Sorry?
I was going to say, so you just had that mindset, you can just stop. You don't have the addictive, personality where...
No, I definitely have the addictive personality.
Okay.
Most definitely. I make things look... The way I've stopped everything over the past 6 months, I've been told I've made it look so simple and easy. And it's not.
Yeah.
It's hard. We've obviously spoken before this about, what drugs I've used and stuff like that. I crave cannabis every single day.
Okay.
But I stopped smoking the flower and started smoking an oil version of it through a standard vape. And that's what I got addicted to.
Okay.
So the oil has the cannabinoids removed from it. So it's just the THC. So it's a synthetic cannabis. But that's right next to spice.
Right, okay.
So You're basically smoking a less potent version of spice, essentially.
Wow. And they just sell that, and then you just buy that in the shops, or is this like an... Cause
No, I had to go and get that from someone.
I was going to say, because I'm not really it's never been my scene, so I sort of need some educating on that. It's
Lucky you. It's good that you've never had to... Well, that you've never got drawn into that world.
Yeah.
One of my jobs drew me. One of the jobs that I have, I'm a DJ in my spare time, aside from being a barber, and that pulled me into drugs heavily.
Okay.
Heavily. Really, really bad. Cocaine was... Wow. I still crave cocaine every day. Every day. I was actually in a situation last weekend where it was around me a lot. And I was even offered it. And it was the first time I could say, no, I am not touching that. I do not need that. And I even gave the kid a lecture. You need to stop doing this. And then I was like, do you know what? No, he doesn't need to stop doing it. I said to him, listen, do what you want. Just stop doing it at 25. Trust me, I'm a 44-year-old addict.
Yeah.
And I wish I'd stopped a lot sooner.
It's quite good that you can share that. And listen, and he won't listen to that right now, but he might look back at that in 5 years and think he told me that I should stop, and I didn't. And there's nothing you can do. People are going to do what they're going to do. But
exactly,
the fact that you were able to just walk away and say no, what kind of feeling did that give you?
Strength.
Yeah.
For a 5'7" and 3/4 man, don't forget the 3/4, I felt tall, and powerful. And it wasn't just one person. I had to squeeze through a crowd of people to get where I needed to go, and they're all
really,
they're all on keys. And it was the first time that I actually felt like a clean person. Now, I don't mean that on a daily basis. On a daily basis, I feel like a clean person. Yes, I'm an addict. Weed, alcohol, drink. drink was never an issue, but drink goes hand in hand with the cocaine, because the second you start taking the cocaine, the alcohol receptors kick in.
Right.
That's the way it works for me. I would dry sniff. I wouldn't have a drink and then want it. I just want it, and then the drink would come afterwards.
Right. Okay.
I read a book by a guy called Alan Carr. I don't know whether you're aware of him.
Alan Carr,
Not
what?
a comedian.
I was going to say, the only Alan Carr I know is the comedian, so...
Right, well, there's a guy that wrote a book in the early 2000s, I think it was, stopping people smoking. And the idea was you could carry on smoking all the way through reading this book, but by the end of it, you would have stopped smoking.
Okay, that's quite...
It's basically a hypnosis through a book, and it works really, really well. And what he made me realise is, if you keep going back to something, you're addicted.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. So I now realise that I was addicted to cannabis. I was addicted to cocaine. Oh, sorry, I'm still an addict, but I'm a clean addict. I don't want to wear the addict badge, but the addict badge that I have to wear, I wear with pride because I'm a clean one.
Yeah.
And
so you should.
And I'm proud of that. Very proud of that.
Did you know at the time that you were an addict, or was it very much like you could palm it off as though it's just casual?
I was the most arrogant addict on the face of the planet. I can pick this up and put it down whenever I want. And the truth is you can't.
Yeah. It just gives you that feeling. Really, yeah, you have to, I guess, believe that you can. Otherwise, you're admitting that you're an addict. And sometimes you're not ready to admit, I'm an addict.
Well, I have my socials now for my health, because I'm going through weight loss journey and all that kind of stuff. And I did a video on this not too long ago. And the thing is, people shouldn't be going online and giving unsolicited advice out, because we are not, I know this is called definitely not therapy, but we're not therapists. Yeah. I'm drawing from personal experience for a lot of this. And what people need to understand is the reason they fail at any kind of addiction they are trying to kick, it's because they think they need to kick it.
Yeah.
You've got to want to kick it.
It's very different.
You have to want to kick it. The worst person who's addicted to the worst drug in the world, which I think is alcohol, they can kick it. They've just got to want it enough. And you've got to, it's not, you can't want it for your wife. You can't want it for your kids, right? You've got to look at that dude in the mirror there, or that girl in the mirror, and that's who you've got to do it for before anything. Now, there is a difference between want and need. Everybody needs to do less of whatever poison they're putting in their body, be that nicotine, alcohol, cocaine, smack, heroin, whatever that may be. Everybody needs to do less. But need isn't enough. You've got to want it 100%. You've got to want it. Anybody can do anything they want as long as they put their mind to it.
Yeah.
I don't want to sound like baby Jesus, but I'm sat here as proof of that.
Yeah.
I'm 3 stone down this year.
That's incredible.
Really. Yeah, well, I've worked bloody hard for it.
Yeah.
I really have. And shout out to my coach, Nick, from Movement, because without him, none of this would have been possible. That man's a superhero to me. He really, really is.
So did you reach out and ask for help? Because I appreciate you're 6 months into this journey. Did you get to a point, did something happen and you was like, okay, this is rock bottom for me, I need to reach out? Or did you just, like, what happened? How did that happen for you?
This is definitely hard hitting. I was lying about my business takings. I'd taken money out of the business to buy drugs. Wow. I've had this business for 6 years, going on 7 years now. So, saying it's not been a great week this week. So, I've spent £100 on drugs. She didn't know that. The wife didn't know that. But that's the reality of the situation, because addicts will lie.
Yeah.
For me, rock bottom was 4 years before I decided to give up. I got some cocaine, and it was strong cocaine. And I took a big line of it, and then I spilt some water on the bag. And I went home. The children were in the house. I dried the bag out on a plate and used a toaster. I re-chopped it up, and I did a big line of it. And little did I know that I have gone halfway to making something a lot stronger than what was originally there.
Wow.
The second I did that line, my eyes went starry. My heart rate went straight up to about 170 on whatever watch or tracker I was using. I thought my time was up. I thought I was dead.
Wow.
I gave myself panic attack syndrome, and then they put me on antidepressants to stop the panic attacks because I was so scared of the panic attacks. I thought every time I was having a panic attack, I was going to die.
Wow.
I don't know whether you've had a panic attack before, but
So I think I've had 2 panic attacks. The first one I ever had, I was in Thailand, and I have I can't even, I have no idea why it happened. There was nothing that led up to it. There was not. It just
doesn't have to be.
But this is the thing. But so I didn't even know what it was. I was just curled up in a ball on the bathroom floor, and I was with my partner at the time. She was in the bedroom, and I don't know if you've ever been to Thailand, but a lot of it is like you have it's quite an open like living thing, and the bathroom is just part of the whole space. But I was curled up in a ball in the corner, just shaking and crying and sweating, and I was freezing cold and I was boiling hot, and I was probably the most scared I've been. And
fight or flight kicked in. You had to get out of that room, didn't you?
I just didn't know what. Yeah, because I was just I couldn't get out of the room. I was curled up in a ball, and I just thought I didn't know what I thought. I was scared. So that, I think, I mean, at the time she told me it was a panic attack, and I think I've had one since, but it wasn't as memorable. In fact, it was. In fact, it was. It was memorable, and I think it was a panic attack, and I think it was probably the first time that I'd realised. And I've never spoken about this. I've posted about this, but I haven't actually spoken about it. But I was at a wedding. I posted a video. You might have seen it, but it was me with the glasses on, and I was wearing a blazer, and I was kind of basically I was trying to be the funny man. I had all this pressure on me. And I felt like there was just some issues in my life. And I was at this party. I'd had a few drinks. I was making everyone laugh. As soon as we got in the car to drive home, I could not stop crying. I just didn't know what. I couldn't explain. I couldn't say any words. I was just in the car. I was just like curled up. I was shaking. I was crying.
My anxiety and panic.
My partner, well, that was my ex. She didn't know what to do. She had to phone my friend, and he had to come pick me up because she had to go. My ex had to go and pick Harper up, and I was like, I don't want Harper to see. She was a baby, but I was like, I just don't want her to see. I can't be around. I didn't know what I was doing, so my friend just took me for a drive, and I just remember getting out of his car on like the middle of a motorway. And I was stood on the side of the motorway, just phoning, trying to get hold of my best friend, who he was away with his partner at the time. And they've got kids, they don't get much time away. And I was just phoning. I was on the side of a motorway, just literally crying for help. And I did not know why. And I think that was probably a panic attack. It was anxiety. Obviously, at the time, I was trying to run a business, trying to do the social media thing, trying to get everything going. It was the pressure of writing 2 to 4 brand new videos every single week and posting and scheduling and just having a baby, mortgage payments, just everything. It's just like, your head is just like, whoa, there's no place for it all to go. And it just came out there.
Attack essentially is that you've got a shot of adrenaline that you're not really expecting to get. Heart starts racing. That stuff won't do you any good, by the way.
Do you know what? The worst thing is
That's extreme caffeine.
I quit this, and I've just, this last week where I've been writing the podcast and staying up late to get everything ready and speaking to...
Shout out to Red Bull.
Guests. It's like, just...
Other energy drinks are available.
Other, like, Prime send me a batch every month. They're like...
Oh, really?
But I've switched. They used to send me the energy drinks. They've switched to that. I was like... Stop the energy drinks.
You know, it's funny. I did a gig a couple of weeks ago. I was DJing at a party, and I was really tired because I'd been in the shop all day. I'd been DJing the night before, and bought 2 Monsters, and I drank them both on the same night. And the day after, I swear to you, that was worse than any cocaine come down I have ever experienced. It was awful. Palpitations, shakes. I was physically sick in the toilet at one point. It was awful.
It's all, and I'll tell you what, when I used to have, like, when you have a night out, it was always like vodka Red Bull for me. And it's the vodka,
Right.
I can deal with the vodka, but the Red Bull, the hangover from Red Bull the following day when you've had like 10 of those it's just unbearable.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine, like 10 Red Bulls.
Yeah, but it's probably not 10 like full cans of, either way,
Well,
it's still
it's
10 Red
probably
Bull.
5 at
Even if
least.
it's 5, that's a lot. That's too many to drink in one day.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah. So, okay, so look, going back then, we've sort of gone into a little bit of depth about your story and sort of, I was going to sort of ask, you know, from childhood, growing up, getting into, I guess, DJing and that lifestyle. When did the addiction, I guess, take over? Because you said that you went from cannabis from the age of 13. When did that step up a gear? When was it then the cocaine and the heavy drinking and whatever it was?
It's a massive jump. You see, I didn't start doing Class A drugs till I was at least 20. I used to go to standard nightclubs, and then I went to this night, a trance and house night. This trance and house night is not responsible for my actions, by the way, but shout out to all the Tangled lads and girls, because I love you lot. And I started with ecstasy, and that changed my life. I'll be honest with you, ecstasy changed my life. That helped build the nice person that you see in front of you.
Okay, that's
it really,
interesting.
really did. Like, you can have positive experiences on drugs. It's just, unfortunately, if you let it get out of control, it turns into a negative one.
Yeah.
But I didn't touch cocaine until I was about 24. But once I did take cocaine, it got me straight away. And then it was every Friday for, God, up until, you know, a few years back. But I gave up for a little while when I first met my wife, and then I started DJing at another place, and it slowly crept back in. So it's always DJing that is the common denominator between me doing it and not, which is why I love where I'm at now, because of, you know, I know that I can just say, no, that's not for me anymore. I'm cool.
That's good, though, that you could do that.
Yeah. So it's all about the scene you're in. But then when the scene takes over, like, my cocaine use got to a stage where I didn't need to be around people to do cocaine.
Right, okay.
I would quite happily sit at home on a Saturday night and go through 2 bags and think, this is all for me. I don't have to share.
Wow. Is that a lot, two bags, just because I'm an uneducated?
Well, back then, 2 bags would have been about 100 quid, and that'd be 2 grams.
Okay.
But now that'd be more like, probably about 120 quid, 140 quid. It depends. You know, the price varies from person to person. But that was my drug of choice, as well as cannabis, and then the alcohol would obviously join on afterwards. So,
but don't they just counter, like, and again, this might be just really naive, but doesn't cocaine picks you up, and then cannabis brings you down and chills you out, mellows you? So aren't you just constantly
I'd use
fighting?
the cannabis at the end of the night to make me go to sleep.
Okay, right, okay.
I would also use prescription drugs to help me go to sleep as well, like propanolol, which I'm only supposed to use for panic attacks.
Right.
This is the thing. You asked me what the low was earlier. The low was that night when I made halfway towards crack cocaine and sniffed it, and my heart rate went up, and I thought I was going to die, and the kids were in the house. My wife nearly left me after that. Like, I wouldn't have blamed her if she did, but God bless Stella. She's an absolute beast. And she has stuck by me through everything, even though I don't deserve it. Well,
I think that's hard to say.
Because
you're probably being a bit hard on yourself there. I mean, I speak to a lot of people just in general life that I know that have had struggles, that have been through some real struggles. And yeah, for a lot of, if someone loves you, they'll stick around through as much as they can. So
God bless my wife. I don't believe in God, but God bless my wife, because I've put her through some absolute hell. I really, really have. And it breaks my heart to think about it now. But she has stood by me through a career change, through going pretty much deaf, because I'm like, my ears are a mess because of the constant DJing. And with my ears being a mess, that I've also got misophonia. I think it's called misophonia, where I can't control my reaction to instantaneous loud noises. So I will always react negatively. So if the kids like drop something, I have tinnitus and misophonia. So my ears are already full of horrible noise constantly.
Wow.
that if another noise comes in that I'm not in control of, it creates an instant angry reaction.
Right, okay. And there's nothing you can do about that? There's no like medication to stop the noises? It's there?
No. My hearing aids help stop the noise, but I've broken one of them.
Okay.
So I have one in constantly, but I've not got it in today because I've got these on. But these are also a source of a problem for me as well, because I have to have these on for my second job, which is, as we've discussed, DJing. So I'm in a bit of a catch-22 situation where the DJing makes me quite good money, but at the same time, it's destroying my hearing.
And is it a passion as well? Is the DJing, is it a passion as well?
Very much so. Yeah. Music has always been my passion. I used to work for one of the big four supermarkets in HR, and I never considered myself a musician. And a lad called Chris Hill, shout out to Chris Hill if you ever see this, his brother was in a band, and he said to me one day, "You're a musician like my brother." And I was like, "I'm a DJ, I'm not a musician." He was like, no. You have an encyclopedic knowledge of music and you perform to people. That makes you a musician. And I think after that, I was like, do you know what? God damn it. Yes, I am a musician.
Embrace it. Lean into it. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
It's definitely not therapy. Glowworm Festival is a family festival. It's fun for everyone. There's stuff for adults. There's stuff for kids. Loads of incredible tribute acts are going to be there. You've got stuff going on for the whole entire 3 days. You've got the main stage with loads of acts. You've got creative play for the kids. You've got a Playmobil rave for the kids, which I'm going to probably have just as much fun as Harper, if not more. Sorry, if you have a kid, or you ever were a kid, Zippy and George are going to be there, mate. Zippy and George. They've also got Bluey for a meet and greet. They've got Mr. Blobby. That's the main reason I'm going, if I'm completely honest with you. Noel's house party. I'm an 80s, 90s. I'm a 90s child, so Mr. Blobby. They've got some of the Paw Patrol characters. They've got Chase. They've got Rubble. They've got Bluey. They've got Dougie. Sweet Potato. Need I say more? But I can say more. Elmer the Elephant's going to be there. One of my little girl's favourite stories. And you might be thinking, oh, Dan, I'd love to win those tickets for Glowworm Festival. I'm a family of 4. We'd love to go, but Nottinghamshire, it's such a long way to go there and come back. Don't worry, mate, we've got you covered. You can camp there for the whole weekend. The tickets include camping for the full 3 days. Enjoy yourself. All you've got to do, subscribe to the podcast, like the Instagram page, definitely Not Therapy Pod, and leave a comment. So I just want to say a huge thank you to Glowworm Festival for, 1, sponsoring our episode of Definitely Not Therapy, 2, for allowing me to give away some tickets to some of our followers and listeners, and 3, for giving me and my little girl the opportunity to come and enjoy the festival this year. We're looking forward to just enjoying everything that the festival has to offer. We're going to be up there camping for 3 days, so we'll be about. Come and say hello if you see us. But yeah, we're really excited. So a huge thank you to Glowworm Festival, and we can't wait to see you in August. It's definitely not therapy. We've talked about your low. We've talked about the low point, your breaking point. What's happened since then, and where are you at on your journey of being clean, being sober?
Right now, I am clean and sober. I do find it difficult on a daily basis, but what's helping me right now is I think I've swapped my drug addictions for a health addiction instead, which is
a lot of people do that, though. A lot of people do that.
Yeah, I think that's an important thing that people of my age, I'm not too sure how old you are, Dan, but I'm 44. And I think I remember back to when I was a trainee at this hairdressing salon, and the ladies that worked in there were probably about the age I am now. They were all on major health kicks, and they all lost shitloads of weight very, very fast. And they were all just eating like apples and pears for dinner and stuff like that. And I just think we get to a certain age and we're like, right, we've got kids. We want to see those kids live, and we want to see them grow up. And our hearts can't take all the visceral fat that is around them anymore, right? So we have to get rid of that. So we all start working out and getting healthy. And that is where my happiness comes from now. My happiness now comes from my family and my children. Again, got to give a big shout out to my wife and children, because the crap they put up with from my moods is, sorry, I keep using expletives.
No, you can swear, you're all good.
Oh, right, okay. The stuff they put up with from me from time to time is amazing. I have a short temper, but the thing about my short temper is I always realise when I've done wrong, and I always apologise profusely straight afterwards. But where I'm getting my power from right now is definitely my training. This year, I have gone from 108 kilos to, what am I? This week, I was 90 kilos and 5.
Wow.
So I've dropped like 18 kilos in the past year. I am in the shape of my life and I'm still not finished. Like I will send you pictures of this month's this month's progress alone.
Yeah.
And you will see the difference. Like I'm taking pictures month on month. I'm doing a program guided by my coach, Nick Whitehill from Movement. Shout out to Nick Whitehill again, because this man is the man that saved my life. He has never given up on me. He, through the drugs, through depression, through injuries, I've had hernia surgery this year and still managed to lose all this weight. The first part of the weight loss was stupidly enough through Slim Fast.
Oh, really?
I know that's going to be, yeah. Like, because I saw this video, right? And it said, calorie deficits, you've got to work to a calorie deficit.
Yeah.
And I do agree you have to work to a calorie deficit, but take whatever calorie deficit you've worked out and take 500 calories off that again. And then the plan that Nick has now got me on is amazing. It's by this guy called Martin McDonald, and it's called an aggressive diet. Now, a lot of dietitians and a lot of coaches will not agree with this method, right? But again, it's all about what works for you.
Yeah.
And the idea is, have you ever tried to lose weight, Dan?
So I'm on my own weight loss journey now.
Right. So you fully understand that the first week of any weight loss plan, you lose loads, don't you? It just goes, but then it peters off.
Yeah, I think, yeah. I mean, yes, it's pretty standard. I think for me, I think mine was a lot of like more bloatedness than, because my arms aren't overweight, my legs, it's a lot of water weight. So yeah, so I dropped, I think I started at like, I was only 95, is it 95 pounds? Is that what it is? 95 kilos. And I've dropped, I think I was 96 and I've dropped down to 91.2 as of yesterday.
Similar loss.
So yeah, it's been, and I feel good. I feel good about it, and I feel like I'm more in shape. But I've always, if I go to the gym, I'll throw myself into the gym, but I get bored easy. But I'm doing it now more for my mental health rather than my physical health. If I can lose some weight, brilliant. I've got the philosophy that I'm going there for my mental health. I'm going there because I don't want to talk to anyone for an hour. I just want to be on my own. I want to do some cardio. I want to get fitter for my little girl. You know, I want to be able to kind of, you know, be there for when she's older and she wants to run around now and I have to chase her around. I just want to be a little bit fitter. I want to lose a little bit. That was my main
reason years and years ago when I wanted to get fit was I wanted to be able to chase my kids around the park. Like I couldn't even tie my shoelaces.
Oh, really? Was that bad?
How fat I was. I will send you a picture that you can pop up on the screen in the edit where I'm sat in the back of a taxi. I'm off my head on cocaine, and I've got a shirt on, and I'm bulging out of the shirt.
Wow!
And it's an awful picture, and it's a picture that I look at regularly to make sure I know that that's the person I don't need to be anymore.
So that cocaine, did that give you, even though you was maybe overweight or whatever, the cocaine give you confidence anyway? Because like you didn't care what you look like because actually you're having a good time.
Cocaine gives you the most ridiculous amount of confidence.
Yeah.
But it's not a good confidence. It skews your judgment. Makes you make decisions you would definitely not make as a sober person.
No.
I almost think it brings out a different person. It does bring out a different person. There's you sober who's primarily, you know, a lovely, nice person, and then there's the absolute scourge of the universe that comes out when you take the drug, and it's just awful and disgusting, and it's not something that you want to be.
No,
you should always be fighting the man in the mirror. I think. Yeah. No, I agree with that. The man in the mirror.
Did you, when it comes to sort of the mental health side of things, obviously we've talked about a lot of the drug addiction, lowest moments, but what headspace were you in? What was your mental health like? When did you ever have any real kind of mental health problems? Do you know when that was? Like, what was your sort of mental health journey been like?
My mental health journey has been a bit up and down because I gave myself panic attack syndrome, and that was hard because you're just constantly in fear. Like of having a panic attack.
Yeah.
And like you could just have a normal chest pain, right? Just like I get twinges all the time here now. And they don't scare me anymore. But before I'd be like, I'm going to have a panic attack. I'm going to have a panic attack. I'm going to have a heart attack. I'm going to have a heart attack. And then I'd be looking at my watch for
looking at the heart rate. So it's literally the slightest little thing, and then that would spiral. You'd spiral in your own head.
Whereas now that doesn't happen.
Okay.
Because I'm in control now. And the drugs are still in control a little bit. And that person is still there in the back of my head saying, you want it. You want it. But this person's stronger than that person. And while this person's going, you want it. This person's going, no, you don't, son. You don't. Crack on. Get on with your day. You do not need it. It's not going to make you feel any better. It's just going to make you feel worse. Like this Alan Carr gives you a load of things to write down in your notes section that will stop you doing it. That didn't help me at first because I wasn't ready. Yeah. Whereas now it does.
That's the whole thing, though, isn't it?
Fair, I don't even need that list anymore.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing, isn't it? About any kind of addiction or whenever you need help, it's like it doesn't matter how many people are there. You've got to want it. You've got to be in a space where you're like, okay, now I need help. Now I want help. Now I'm ready to do it. So did you get to a point where you did ask for help? Did you kind of think, okay,
no, I'm stubborn.
You're just, okay. Well, a lot of men are. This is the problem.
Sorry, go on.
And I was going to say, a lot of men are stubborn, aren't they? And
yeah, I'm not the type of person that could go and sit in a room. I could do this with you. Like, don't call, this is not therapy, but for me, this is very therapeutic. I can do this all day. Yeah. But you ask me to go and sit in a room with 12 strangers and pour my heart out. I can't do that. No. I don't like men, if I'm honest with you. I'm not a guy's guy. I prefer girls. Yeah. I started my career as a hairdresser and not a barber, and I just prefer the company of girls than I do men, which my wife luckily is very, very comfortable with. Yeah. A lot of my friends are girls, and I just prefer their company because they don't judge and they look nice. You know what I mean? Men are generally like, want to talk about football. I don't like football. Yeah. I don't like sport. I like WWE wrestling and cutting hair. Like,
I mean, that's quite a manly. WWE wrestling is quite. I mean, obviously, growing up, I used to watch that as you do as a kid.
I still watch it now. It's the one thing I can't give up.
And I've got friends that do, but it's like that's quite a manly. It's like men in pants and muscles and throwing each other. Like that's quite a manly.
It's quite childlike, also, though. I feel.
Okay, I guess yeah. I guess it is. I
think it's a very. It's the child in me that will not die that loves wrestling.
But that's good, though. I think
that's important.
We all grow up a little bit too quick, I think, and being an adult, it's just hard, isn't it? It just builds.
Horrible. Hate it.
It's just nice to be able to. That's why
It's a trap.
Yeah,
it's a trap
is.
Being an adult.
It is, and I think that's why I like to hold on to kind of just being silly on the internet. Like I'm a 41-year-old man now, but it's.
I'll just move this. Like, look around this building. Like, it's
frozen.
A shrine to everything ridiculous.
It's frozen. I can't see anything.
Oh, no. It'll come back. Stupidly. Has it gone?
Good old technology. It just says your name on the screen.
Oh, no.
What is it, like a man cave type? I know it's your shop, but is it?
Yeah, it's kind of a man cave. It's a bit like, I always tell customers this is what ADHD looks like.
For me, it looks like a blank screen with your name across it at the moment. There's the top of your head. Yes. It's just the top of your head, though, I can see.
It's all right, don't worry, I'll sort that for you. Modern technology, right? You should be able to see me again now. It might move in a second. Any better?
No, you might have to just... I don't know what it's done. It's just the top. I can see like from here up.
Right. Has that changed at all?
Yes, it has. It's now just a blank screen. Have you selected, are you using a third-party camera rather than the...
Yeah.
So you might just need to use the drop-down box and select where it says video. Video.
There we go. Can you see there?
Yes, there you go. We got there in the end.
Sorry about that.
That's right. That is what two grown men in their 40s look like trying to navigate any form of technology. It's definitely not therapy. I want to ask sort of everyone that comes on the podcast, really about men's mental health. And I think, look, and I do want to say, like, I think mental health in general is important for everyone, but I think men's mental health, men, you've said it there, you wouldn't go to a group, you wouldn't sit and talk and pour out your emotions. And men don't talk enough.
No.
But do you think men do have enough support? Do you think there is enough support out there for men if they do need help?
Yes, but at the same time, I think there's a very bad attitude towards men also.
Yeah. Well, you just need to watch. Sorry to interrupt. You just need to watch any of my videos. I think when you look at the comment section, I get told a lot, well done for speaking up. And we talked about this briefly. I'll take the thousands of negative comments for the one positive. But we're told as men, speak up, tell your story, ask for help, whatever. And then you do it. And I feel like I do that. And I'm then kicked for it. I'm like, well, you can't use social media for it. And it's like we're asked to talk up.
Mumfluencers can.
Well, can they?
Mumfluencers. So I feel like if you are a stay-at-home mum, for instance, and you have a TikTok, you have more of a voice than dads supporting dads. There's been a lot of emphasis on the whole dad supporting dad things recently on TikTok. And I don't feel that that's taken as seriously as mums supporting mums.
100%.
I did a post on it on my social media quite recently on Facebook where I was saying, let's have an applause for dads that show up. And it wasn't really asking for an applause for the dads that show up. It was just, there's a lot of negativity towards men on social media from mums who have made bad choices of partners, and they've decided to have children with people that they probably shouldn't have had children with, whether that be accidental or not. There seems to be a lack of responsibility wanting to be taken for the decisions that they have made, and then that seems to be forced onto men as a whole. Yeah.
Well, listen, I think this is what I think happens if a man leaves a woman, and usually this is more impactful if there's kids involved. A man leaves a woman, then, well, he's an arsehole. He's left her with a child. He's an arsehole. If a woman leaves a man, isn't she brave? Isn't she brave?
But isn't that the case for a lot of things?
You could use it for anything. For anything, that is it.
That during any breakup, right, the majority of the time, the woman will come out the victor, and she will keep the friends, and the man will be the one that loses the friends.
Well, look at me.
I've gone through that twice.
I pulled my heart out online, millions of views, and it was and there was nothing. I did nothing wrong, and the worst thing for me is I know what happened in the background, which I have never spoken about. But yet I'm the one that's attacked. Well, you must have done something wrong. Well, no.
Yeah,
that's not the case. That men don't always do something wrong. It's like the other day, I spoke about it in episode 1, actually. There was a video that was posted, that my ex posted, and it was about like, oh, why do you still speak to my ex? And Harper was involved. And it's like,
I know exactly which video you talking about, and I hope you were going to verge on this, to be honest with you. I thought that was uncalled for.
I think, look, I've got a good sense of humour. Our relationship was full of inside jokes, laughs, banter, pushing each other. I don't really have a problem with the video. I just have a problem with society.
It was a bit tasteless.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, but I've done a few tasteless things. Let's be honest. I'm not innocent. My problem with it is if I had have posted it, I would get attacked. Whereas she posts it. Well done, hun. Go you. And it's the support. Men don't get the support.
What's good for the goose ain't always good for the gander. And the gander's always the one that gets in the shit for it.
Yep. Yeah.
And I think that's just a societal thing, though. I don't think it's necessarily something that needs to be accepted anymore. But if we speak out, as white, straight, middle-class men, we are the evil right now.
Yeah.
So we're beaten down, and we're told that we can't feel like that, and we can't necessarily have feelings. Like there's a hoodie that goes around at the minute. Sometimes men get sad too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do. Relationships do break down, and things do go to poo sometimes, but it's not always the fault of of the man. And I agree with you. It does feel sometimes like we are put in that position. I went through 2 breakups during my Tangled days, which is the nightclub that we spoke about earlier, and lost 2 separate groups of friends.
Wow.
And they were my whole social circle.
Well, that's what comes with it, isn't it?
Make new friends.
That's what happens. I've lost, someone I loved and thought I was going to spend my life with. But, aside from that, there's so much more that comes with it. Like her mum, I was so close to her mum. Like, I treated her like, not like a mum, but I was that close to her and her mum's husband, and we were close. And I feel like they're still welcoming, they're still lovely, but it's not the same. It's not the same now because new people go around there and spend their days together, and I'm the one on the outside now, and it's like that's another part of it that you lose the family, you lose the friends that you had, and it is hard, but look, I appreciate you've probably got to go, so I've got my customers in. All good. So look, I just want to say thank you for opening up, thank you for sharing your story, and let's just keep spreading awareness, keep in touch. Definitely. And if you ever need anything, give me a shout. Thank you very much. If you ever need me to come on and speak about other things, like this is a very serious matter, but I'm also up for coming up and, just having a giggle and a laugh. So if you ever need a guest again, don't hesitate to get in touch with me, Dan. And listen, honestly, thank you for being such an inspiration for me alone, because what you were doing on social media definitely helped me. And just the fact that I've got to have this conversation with you today means the absolute world to me. So thank you. Amazing. No, you're welcome. It's been a real pleasure speaking to you, Stu, and I'm glad that we've met. I'm glad our paths have crossed, and I'm really pleased that you're on a journey. I know it's very early days for you, but I'm really pleased that you're on a journey of quitting addiction, and you're staying clean, and just stay headstrong. You're obviously a really nice guy. Just keep doing what you're doing, mate. You're smashing it, and keep sharing your story. Same to you as well, dude. All right, Stu. Thank you so much. Take care. Thanks for joining. I really appreciate it. You're welcome. Take care, dude. Look after yourself. You too, mate. Bye-bye. Take care. It's definitely not therapy. Thank you for joining us this week on Definitely Not Therapy. Our guest, Stu, was a really lovely guy, really opened up. It was great to talk to him. Hopefully, it can give some of you some inspiration that, do you know what? We do have tough days, but we can all drag ourselves out of it if we really, really want to. I think the key point was you've got to really want change. You've got to really want to do it. There are plenty of clubs out there. There's plenty of support out there. You've just got to reach out. You've got to talk to people, and you've got to keep asking for help. But it can be done, and you can come through the other side, and you can start enjoying life again. So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Take care, and hopefully I might have you on the podcast. This is Definitely Not Therapy. Definitely not therapy.